nothing but one of the biggest and busiest movie studios in the world.
But before you head off on your Hollywood adventure, let's bring you up to speed on what's been filming on the Universal lot as of late.
We've got some great productions filming on the lot as of late. We just started production on Little Fockers, the continuation of the Meet the Parents franchise. We also have some great TV shows to film right here, like CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, Ghost Whisperer, starring Jennifer Love Hewitt. And do we have any fans of Desperate Housewives on the tour today? Show of hands. Sweet. We're going to be taking you down Wisteria Lane today. Just make sure you got your cameras ready for that. We're also very proud to be home to The Tonight Show, starring with Conan O'Brien. He films inside Soundstage 1 on the Universal front lot. And let's give it up for the man of the hour, the man with the master plan, our driver for today. His name is Steve. Let's give it up for Steve, our driver. Woo! There we go. Looks like we got the thumbs up. Wave goodbye to everybody here on the left-hand side. See you later, folks. We're going to take this show on the road. Before we get too far, though, we got to go over some safety rules really quickly, so take a look at your HD monitors. First things first, if you guys have an emergency of any kind, pull that emergency cord. I'll come right back to help you out. That's right. Please remain seated whenever the tram is moving. It is for your safety.
Good.
No, sorry, Frank. There's no smoking allowed on the tram. Please put out that cigar, buddy. Thank you. And lastly, be prepared for anything on the tour today, like loud noises, fire effects, sudden tram movements, and the possibility of getting wet. As a matter of fact, if you're sitting in a blue seat right now, you have a higher chance of getting wet on today's tour, so check your seat colors. Oh yeah, that's right, they're all blue. Look out for those water effects, folks. We feature plenty of them on the tour. Keep those cameras nice and dry and protected. We're about to take you inside the heart of a real working motion picture and television studio where some of Hollywood's biggest names come to work every single day. And they don't get much bigger than the Oscar and Emmy award-winning star of such classic films as Ghost, Sister Act, and The Color Purple. She's my co-host for the tour today, the one, the only, Miss Whoopi Goldberg.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. How do I look? Okay, fine. You're saying too Hollywood? Maybe. But if other studios can have a lion or a mouse or something, what is wrong with an Oscar-winning Whoopi? Besides, I know all about this place. I shot my first movie here with Steven Spielberg on the Universal backlot, the biggest and busiest fantasy factory in the world. So let's go. Universal got its start in 1912 when visionary Carl Laemmle brought his movie company west and opened Universal Pictures. On March 15, 1915, Mr. Laemmle invited the public, that's you guys, to visit his studio, and the Universal Studio Tour was born. You see, Mr. Laemmle believed that movies should make people laugh, or cry, or sit on the edge of their seats. And for the last century, Universal has been doing just that. I'll be back to check up on you guys a little later. In the meantime, I'm going to turn things back over to your guide. I want you to have a great time, everybody. Lenny, let's go. Sure.
Don't worry, guys. We don't have to worry about crashing today. We're in a nice, big, sturdy tram, and Steve here is a much better driver than Lenny. We're in good hands. We're also in great shape to get to our first stop on the tour today. We're about to enter the front lot of the studio. The front lot is where we house our 35 sound stages. Now, inside a soundstage, we can create any environment that the story demands. Anything at all. Any place real, imaginary, any time period at all. It all goes down inside these virtually soundproof warehouses. In fact, they're about 98% soundproof, which comes in really handy because once those cameras start to roll, you got to be real quiet on the set. And here inside these soundstages, we can really bring you guys some classic movie moments like these ones right here. Hello. These scenes you're seeing on your HD monitors were filmed inside this first soundstage we're about to pass on the left-hand side, Soundstage 12. It is the largest soundstage on the front lot. It's been home to some of the biggest movie sets in film history, like the Visitor Center from Jurassic Park. Some more recent productions to film inside Stage 12 include Tropic Thunder, starring Ben Stiller, Jack Black, and Robert Downey Jr., as well as Couples Retreat, starring Vince Vaughn, Jon Favreau, Kristen Bell, and Jason Bateman. As we get ready to make this next turn, we're going to keep the focus on the left-hand side of the tram, because we're going to take you past the busiest sound stages on the front lot. And they're really busy because they're currently home to CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, starring William Peterson, Mark Helgenberger, and Lawrence Fishburne. Films right here inside stages 25, 24, 23, and 22. Now, most of these sets are what we call closed sets, meaning that only the immediate cast and crew and special invited guests are allowed access. However, on your next trip to Universal, be sure to look into our VIP experience, where you get to become one of those invited guests and may have the opportunity to walk on and explore actual sets used for filming. Pretty famous vehicle coming up here on the right-hand side, guys. It's the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo. Looks like Scooby, Shaggy, and the gang are teaming up with the CSI guys to solve a pretty big mystery here on the front lot. Nice teamwork right there. Also here on the right-hand side, we're about to pass the oldest soundstage on the front lot, Stage 28. It was originally built to house the elaborate Paris Opera House set for Phantom of the Opera starring Lon Chaney. It's also been home to The Bride of Frankenstein, Mother from Psycho, a vengeful T-Rex from the Lost World Jurassic Park, and Dr. Seuss's beloved character, the Grinch. Anybody see the Grinch so far today in the park? Show hands. Sweet. Now, is he being nice, mean, or somewhere in between? Nice, mean, or somewhere in between? Like, about in between? Or? Yeah, that's where we like him. Really, we want him to be polite to the guests, but he still has to have that Grinchy kind of quality to him. It's good to hear, good to hear. Jim Carrey played the Grinch in the film version of that classic tale. A really great comedian, that Jim Carrey. Another very funny comedian, Will Ferrell, filmed a movie right here on the left inside Stage 27 recently. That was Land of the Lost, which is based on the classic TV show of the same name. We do have a bit of a TV history here at Universal Studios.
Now it is time to move from the big screen to the small screen.
Aside from making memorable movies, NBC Universal has a long history of producing hit TV shows, many of which filmed right here on the Universal lot.
We got our start in television over 68 years ago with our first television broadcast covering the opening day ceremonies of the 1939 New York World's Fair. And since then, we've been producing some classic TV shows, some examples on your HD monitors. Now, Universal Studios is part of a larger entertainment group called NBC Universal, which is also made up of NBC, CNBC, MSNBC, the Sci-Fi Channel, USA, Bravo, Telemundo, Universal HD, the Weather Channel, NBC.com, Universal Sports, and the Oxygen Network. I could use some oxygen after rattling off that long list, so I'm going to take a deep breath right here. There we go, feeling a lot better. As we pass by this stage here, Stage 44, you're going to notice some parking spaces here that are reserved for cast and crew members of the show Parenthood, which is currently filming inside this stage. Getting ready for that premiere on NBC. You'll also be able to see these white trailers outside the stage. Those are the mobile dressing rooms for the stars right there, which is kind of cool if they're right here, because here on the left, you'll see these beige bungalows. They were the original dressing rooms for the stars in the early days of contract players. They'd be under contract to the studio for multiple picture deals, and they'd have an entire bungalow all to themselves. But right now, they act as our production offices. All of our writers, directors, cast of people, and producers work out of these offices to take a tiny idea and flesh it out to a full-fledged film or television production. And as we pass by these bungalows, you may notice some production company logos printed outside some of the buildings, like this first bungalow here on James Stewart Avenue. You'll see the logo for Reveille. That's the company that works on the hit NBC comedy The Office, starring Steve Carell. We also now have the offices of Hasbro. It's very easy to spot the offices for Hasbro because they have their ambassador standing right outside with a great big smile on his face. He's a star from my childhood, maybe even yours. Get your cameras ready for the star standing right here. That is Mr. Potato Head. That mustache and top hat is always going to look good on him. And right next door at Bungalow 5195, you'll see a familiar profile painted outside. That profile and that bungalow once belonged to Alfred Hitchcock, the director of Psycho, Rear Window, and Birds. He was definitely known for his famous cameo appearances in all of his movies. Let's see if you can spot Hitchcock in these clips.
Good evening. My name is Alfred Hitchcock. Theodore Messenger. See the plot.
One of the great directors of all time, Alfred Hitchcock right there. Now guys, we're about to leave the front lot behind to take you to the back lot where the world is just around the corner. We shoot the big stuff out here, exterior scenes on a very large scale. And on June 1st, 2008, 4 acres of this historic back lot was burned in a devastating fire. Now we knew right from the start that these sets must be rebuilt, and our design process began immediately. Based on decades of experience for some of the top filmmakers in the industry, we assembled an award-winning team to create the new and improved backlot locations. And a little less than 2 years after that tragic event, we are proud to be taking you through the largest set construction project in the history of Hollywood. All the locations are scheduled to be completed and open for filming in the spring of next year.